You're about to see the haunting last seconds from my childhood, and the exact moment in which I became an adult once and for all.
We all change, if you think about it. We're all different people, all through our lives. And that's okay, that's good. You gotta keep moving so long as you remember all the people that you used to be. I won't forget
836.
one line of this. Not one day. I will always remember when Milo, Timberlake, was me.
Which makes nostalgia an often healthy way to answer the question, who am I?
There's a sacrificial element to maturation.
Hi. So, what are you doing today, Mr. Milo? I'm having a very happy day.
And you can't hold on to that and live.
Electric hedgehog power.
They want to hold on to that Peter Pan thing.
Johannes Hofer coined the term by combining the Greek words for returning home and pain.
Psychologists of the time speculated that it represented difficulties letting go of childhood.
They don't decide that they're going to take that final step into maturation.
The only cure, as Hofer saw it, was to be sent home. To your home.
If the only solution is to be sent home,
Its meaning expanded from indicating homesickness to a general longing for the past.
and the feelings are toward the past in general, well, we don't have a time machine yet. There's really two things. People want to be young again,
I'm in baby mode on and off all day.
some through different means,
trying to neutralize my aging process.
and then the other is the things that you had back then. The toys, the games, the movies,
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
which can be accessed.
It is an undeniable fact that we live in a media landscape clearly dominated by nostalgia, particularly in big-budget Hollywood productions.
Have you missed us?
Advertisers have discovered how powerful it is as a marketing technique.
I mean, when's the last time you've watched a truly original piece of media? Even Stranger Things relies heavily on nostalgia.
Sweeter, bolder, better.
You could even argue movies like A Quiet Place are only successful because people are already familiar with the actors' face. Although, I might not make that argument. Star Wars, of course, is a great example. While the stories are lacking,
I don't like the way the story progressed.
who doesn't want to see their best friends again? They even brought back Luke Skywalker, and instead of getting an actor who would best serve the story with, real emotions and reactions, they decided to create this digital puppet.
Are you a Jedi?
No. So that he looks just like people remember.
Oh my god, they nailed him!
We're sick of remakes for the same reason. They're just nostalgic wax figurines. They aren't exactly alive. They're not born from the original passion of an artist.
Sam, I won't be spoken to in that manner.
You talking back to me?
They're born from a format that has been designed to give an expecting audience the fan service that they will be pleased by.
You are now called before the Illuminati. Meet the smartest man alive, Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Bazinga!
So now we know that nostalgia is kind of like processed food. It feels good, but it isn't actually good for you in and of itself in the same way that a well-told story is, or a piece of steak is, I guess, in the analogy. So if we just say that's given for the moment, then let's take a look at what happens if somebody fully indulges in nostalgia, because seeing the extremes of an issue can often give us a clue as to what happens to us all in our own lives on a smaller scale.
Back in the day, age 15, it was very innocent, and I'm just playing. It was normal to play all day.
Okay, well now you're the same person at 30.
It's sick and twisted that I have to work just to survive.
I don't want to work.
You need a job.
No, I don't want a job. It's so much work.
It's like, what the hell have you been doing for the last 10 years?
I've gone
Well,
back
I'm
to,
just as clueless as I was when I was 22.
being a child. I
Yeah,
don't want
but
to
you're
be
not
an adult
22.
right now.
You're an old infant.
Searching for a lawman can be difficult.
Right? And that's an ugly thing. an
Not
old
very
infant.
many.
Nostalgia can be a restorative
And it's
tool.
really low resolution. You could be anything, but you're not anything.
This is a day in the life. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, So I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for busy.
So an adult who flees to childhood generally isn't very attractive. They're not very noble. You shouldn't flee to the mildewy blanket of childhood because for no other reason than it just doesn't work.
You have to cut parts of yourself off in a destructive manner to fit back into the person that you were.
The reason I like the heartbeat is it was taken from inside a mother's womb.
So, how do we cure this nostalgia curse? Well, it's kind of like all the emotions. The best thing to do is integrate them.
Studies have shown that inducing nostalgia in people can help increase their feelings of self-esteem and social belonging, encourage psychological growth, and even make them act more charitably.
Some movies even can implement nostalgia in an integrated and poetic way.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Oh, you should have seen it, that old planet. The second sun would rise in the south, the mountain would shine. The leaves on the trees were silver. They call the light every morning, look like a forest on fire.
But first, you have to understand a certain reality, a certain truth.
There's a lie. The lie is that maturation has to be depressing. Now, if I'm being honest, many modern people do go from happy kids to depressed adults.
Many of us look to our jobs and to our lives and see no greater purpose, no reason to be. Back when mankind lived in little villages, it was easy. If you were the only cobbler in the village, you understood why you mattered. If you weren't there, no one in the village would have shoes. Today, many of us are lost in society, and this wears on a body. If you're entering data into a spreadsheet that you don't even know what it means, or pressing a button that puts a cog on a sprocket, which will eventually be some part of a machine you'll never see, it's hard to always remember why it all matters.
Nostalgia is telling us to integrate the inner child with the inner adult. Let's make a list. Perhaps your life is ordered to the point of chaos. What I've learned from my years being an actor is that actors need to be really in touch with chaos. And you know this, right? You know that, those theater kids that can rapid fire a million made up memes a moment and it's no problem for them. And so theater is actually a great example of what the tyrannized adult is kind of bad at. So what does a bad theater show look like? Well, it's too much order. They stand exactly where they were told to stand and say the lines exactly as they rehearsed it. And the worst part isn't even when they make a mistake. No, it's when they ignore the mistake.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
They don't say yes and because, God forbid, they have to, think on their feet.
I'm off to slay the dragon. Sir Cody, will you help me?
No, I'll stay at the castle.
This sort of thing happens more than you might guess, especially among untrained adults.
But, of course, you could give an 8-year-old a Luke Skywalker minifigure and he'll be improvising until dinner's ready.
Okay, son.
Hey guys, time to come up for dinner.
We perhaps put the highest virtue on the celebrity actor. This is a person who has that chaos at hand, has that spirit of play at hand, but isn't consumed by it.
If you were a Disney princess, who would you be?
Cinderella, because she broke, homie. She represent me, yo. Let me borrow $20.
But even here, mirroring kids doesn't work. We look down on the theater nerd. He's only childlike because he never learned to be an adult, right? Some of the kids who play D&D are like this. They can play no problem, but they don't have access to the spirit of listening, which is necessary to both be liked and to be able to play with others. Now, this comes with maturation, so you shouldn't just be a child and you shouldn't just smother it. You should integrate it.
It's the same thing with honesty. Kids are honest. Too honest.
Also, your face is asymmetric and your head is way too big for your body.
It's my biggest insecurity.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
That makes sense. You look like a broken Charlie Brown.
But the average adult could have the opposite problem. They sometimes bury any inconvenient truth, most often because it could hurt somebody's feelings.
So I got this dress at the mall earlier with Kim, and I can't tell. Do you think this makes me look fat?
No. What? No.
But an integrated adult will tell the truth even when it could hurt someone. Now, he has to deal with what reactions his honesty ends up causing because he can't claim ignorance like a child, but
he certainly can't ignore the truth.
And everybody in the Soviet system lied about everything to everyone all the time. You think, well, if I stop lying, I'm done for. It's like, yeah, fair enough, man, but if you keep lying, and so does everyone else, you're also done for.
But what if you're the kind of person who is both honest when necessary and who can play in a structured way with others? What if you're still fleeing to nostalgia? What if you still want that $300 Lego Home Alone set? Well, let's unearth the answer.
Well, what nostalgia is most often a manifestation of is a clamoring for meaning. And broadly, the solution to that would be to adopt responsibility, which is the most fundamental to real maturation. But I do think there's something childlike about it. It's a sort of, I wonder just how much I can do sort of attitude, never sticking to the curb. Parenting often involves saying, whoa, don't do that because you'll definitely die, which is good. But that only really comes up because the correct instinct is to try as hard as you possibly can with that childlike enthusiasm. And that's what I think this whole nostalgia epidemic forgets. It forgets that actually responsibility is fun. It's not purely happy and, it's not all bliss because it is real struggle, but struggle is fun. So, if you really want to escape nostalgia, put it into practice.
No, doctor, don't regenerate. Resist it, doctor. I don't want you to go, doctor, please.
It's 8:37.
Woo! And now, a roundabout singing of Now That We're Men from SpongeBob the movie. All together now.